What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Angelo show. All right, so we're gonna talk about life working in big tech. So I was fortunate to actually work at Meta, at Google, and I've kind of noticed some similarities with it. And I feel like it's kind of good to share some insight and some advice on it on how to do well, right? A lot of you guys are trying to get in there. I know as of the filming right now, tech market's a little crazy. A lot of people are getting laid off and people are still trying to get in there. So they are still hiring, right? Usually like I've been seeing is the AI ML offers that they still hire for a ton, which is good because we all know that's where the trend is going, artificial intelligence and machine learning type of kind of deal. So if you major in that, if you actually get an internship in that, then props to you because you're setting yourself up for success, especially for what you're going to start seeing in this world as we start building more and more companies that are heavily AI ML focused. Everyone says you're going to lose your job to artificial intelligence. In my personal opinion, is you're not going to lose your job to artificial intelligence. You're going to lose your job to someone who knows how to use AI, artificial intelligence. So with you trying to learn AI ML, you don't need to be some amazing engineer, right? You got to realize that this world isn't all engineers. There's other people who work in different functions in the business, like marketing, business operations, recruiting, and all those functions are going to have a heavy AI ML focus to it because there are going to be these tools that are going to come about, and the best engineers in the world, all throughout the world, are going to be building products that utilize artificial intelligence. And it's up to you to learn that. You may be asking now, well, what are these tools, Jello? I don't know these tools. I'm like lost. Well, think of ChatGPT, OpenAI. That would be one tool. Right now, I see a lot of corporations are afraid to use it because they don't want the AI trained. And when I say AI, artificial intelligence, they don't want it trained on the corporate data. So I haven't seen many companies adopt it yet, right? Or at least where I'm seeing, right? But I'm pretty sure if you work for Apple, if you work for like Microsoft or OpenAI, ChatGPT, of course you're using that product every day. Of course you're using Copilot from Microsoft. If you're at Google, you're probably training everything with Gemini. So you have an option to basically work and use certain tools.
1 mile, turn left onto East Thousand Oaks Boulevard.
You have the option to use certain tools to basically train your model, learn more at work, and do whatever you need to do. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're growing, scaling, and learning as a tool. Most companies right now are not utilizing it. So as soon as your company rolls out something that utilizes AI, try and add that into your workflow, whether it be major or minor. Just try and add that simple thing into your workflow. That way, you have something and a backbone, and you're kind of leading your team into that, right? I think that's one of the major projects you can add to your team: AI adoption, artificial intelligence adoption, whatever your work may be. And even though there is a slow rate of adoption right now within corporate America for this technology because of the fear of how data is being trained, adopt it, learn it, right? Whatever small thing your company does give or create, then do it, right? If you are trying to build something on your own, then that's when I think it's very important that you start learning how to use these tools. For me, I have been using ChatGPT. That's a really good one. OpenAI, look at that. Gemini, which is Google's version of artificial intelligence, that can really help out with your YouTube videos, just like with titles, thumbnails, suggestions, scanning Google. And then I think Perplexity is a really good one as well. I'm not too sure how to use I haven't used Perplexity as much, but I've been hearing a lot about that. So those are the kind of the top three right now. And your goal right now isn't to become a master engineer. If you're trying to become an engineer and learn how to code, then go ahead and do it. But the goal right now is just to learn the basics of it and learn how to integrate within your work style, within your workflow. That is how you start adapting to this world that we're going into for artificial intelligence, okay? So don't be scared to adapt something new. We're all scared because we all realize that if we don't change, we will lose. So for me, how have I been using it? For my YouTube, this is just for my personal stuff right now. For YouTube, it's been helping a ton with scripting, with titles, thumbnails, and then also with analyzing data. That's the one thing I've realized with ChatGPT is that you can feed it a spreadsheet with data, have it analyze it, and give you kind of assumptions and recommendations. That's where we're going. Rather than having the whole manual labor part of everything to your data, where you have to look at everything, create charts, create graphs, all that stuff is now automatic is now automatically kind of created by putting everything into your AI, into your chat GPT. So look at that. One of the cool things too I've been seeing now with content creation, it has been Captions AI. And Captions is this app within the App Store and automatically edits your videos. It's pretty freaking crazy. Like you literally can have yourself talking for a few minutes and then it'll make it very like fancy looking. It's pretty cool. So that's one thing I've been starting to see too with the whole editing and like videography space. It's solid. It's pretty solid. Like it does a better job than me than I can do editing a video. And I'm very, very, very impressed with it. So for me, I'm very excited to see where this world goes with kind of this AI stuff. And it's nice to see that there are so many people kind of adapting to it because this is kind of be the future, which is pretty cool. So going back to like big tech, big tech is interesting, right? I want you guys to learn AI. That's one thing. But when you start working in big tech, you do have very high expectations. You're put on this thing called like performance. So if you guys have never worked in a big company before, performance is just kind of how they determine whether or not you're doing a good job, bad job at your job or your role. So I have some tips on performance for you guys. Performance, this is what Manager Google told me. Perception will always be reality. What does that mean? So people perceive you as lazy, you'll be perceived as lazy. If people perceive you as hardworking, you'll always be perceived as hardworking. So you do not want to be in that latter bucket or that former bucket of lazy. The reason you don't want to be deemed lazy is because one, it's just gonna make your job hell. It's gonna make your job so much harder because people don't want to work with you. You have this persona about you that is not um, particularly good. So if I was you and I'm trying to kind of be the best version of myself, I would not want to be deemed lazy. Okay, guys? Do not be deemed lazy by your teammates, by the people you work with, by everyone, because that will make your life hell. You will have not a good time at work because your coworkers will be like, dude, this guy does not want to work. And then two, you won't be able to progress and grow in your career. So it's my job here as your tech mentor to teach you how to get good performance reviews, teach you how to become the best version of yourself, teach you how to really ace when it comes to doing well in big tech. So, just charging the car right now. Let's see if it works. It sounds broken. I wonder if they're upgrading the chargers. That's why they're broken. Those that wire feels very heavy, and it is charging. Let's see. Starting to charge. Maybe they turned everything off. Nope, it's charging nice. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is perception will always be reality in big tech. So you need to have this good perception that you're always busy and you're always doing great jobs. How do you do that is the next question. So in order to do that, one, you need to be very, very good with marketing yourself. What does that mean? Yeah, they don't teach you this in school. They don't teach you this. Your mentor doesn't teach you this. This is something you're gonna learn. So you need to market yourself. How do you market yourself? You need to always be setting meetings with people, kind of like check-in points with your colleagues, coworkers. You need to be sending out emails saying, "Oh, I'm like kind of like a newsletter." This is kind of what I did, like a newsletter that shows you like what you're doing, telling other groups we've launched this, we're in the process of doing that. That way, people are like, "Oh man, that person's doing a lot of great work. We want them. We need them on our team." So marketing newsletter is one great way for you to always be kind of creating great content for yourself. You gotta imagine that even though like man there's like this preconceived notion like I don't need to market myself, I'll just do good work and go home. That is very true, you can do that, but a lot of times if you want to move up that corporate ladder, a lot of times if you want to be seen highly amongst your peers, you need to do a lot of marketing yourself, like whether it be trying to always send emails out saying, hey, we're working on this, setting up one-on-one bi-weekly meetings with like high-level leaders to let them know that you are busy, that you are working hard, and then always having syncs with your colleagues. That's how you do it. You need to have this perception that you are valuable, and you also need to bring value. But the thing is, those two coincide, is that if you're doing great work, you still need to market and show it off. You gotta think of yourself as a business, right? You could create the greatest product in the world, but if you do not market yourself as such that you're doing great things, then no one will know of the great work that you are doing. So you need to market yourself, and don't be afraid to do it. I always recommend people that they market themselves really well. So that way, when it comes to performance reviews, when it comes to people giving reflections, reviews about you, you will get a great review. Okay? So that's one thing. And I need you guys to just remember that. Like, you are very important to the firm, you're very important to the company, so market yourself that way. That way you grow with the firm, you grow with the company, okay, guys? Don't feel afraid that you're marketing yourself. It's all good. Don't feel like you're embarrassed. It's all good, okay? So that is one thing you guys gotta do. Market yourself and your product, which is you, very well by sending emails, by weekly reviews, by posting certain things. So keep that in mind. So, welcome back. Earlier, I was talking about how to do well in big tech. Now, I'm going to talk about how to get a job in big tech. Right now, if you're watching this video, it's like late 2024. Tech job market is still very, very slow, as well as the whole kind of US job market in general. A lot of my friends who work in big tech or who have been or are recruiters are just telling me how slow hiring is because companies are just not sure of what's going to happen with regards to the interest rates. So now a lot of companies are trying to spend money because they're just really unsure of the economic conditions that are going on, right? And that's just because right now interest rates are very high. The U.S. is trying to reduce spending so we don't get into hyperinflation. And it's a little tricky right now for a lot of companies and for people who are in the whole job market. So I have a lot of friends who just graduated from college, and a lot of them are kind of just scared about the whole market. So I'm hoping the best for everyone. I'm hoping that everyone gets like jobs, everyone gets hired, everyone finds a role, but a lot of love for everyone trying to find jobs right now. Don't beat yourself up. This market is very, 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 very tricky, okay? So I am talking about right now how to get a job. And even though right now it's hard, you cannot give up, especially if you're graduating and you have student loans, you have debt obligations to pay for stuff. You cannot give up. I believe in you 1,000,000%. Times are tough, so continue to push through because I believe in you. And even though there are days that are dark and you don't feel like you can keep applying, I never want you to give up. I want you to realize that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And I hope these tips help you push through and help you find your dream job because you deserve it. You put that work in, You deserve it. So tip number one is going to be apply for jobs via LinkedIn and Indeed.com. And you may be saying these are generic tips. Well, there are probably a lot of people who've never ever heard of LinkedIn, who've never heard of Indeed.com. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to go to LinkedIn, create a LinkedIn profile that's free. Go to Indeed.com, create an Indeed profile that's free. And then what you're going to do is if you're looking for certain roles, I'm going to need you to apply to about 50 roles a day. I know that sounds crazy, right? But the more shots you give yourself at finding a role, finding a job, you will find one. And it's tough right now. So really fix your resume, whether it be paying someone money to fix it up for you, finding great resumes. Okay, this is one thing I did too. So I went to business school at UCLA. Shout out UCLA. But Stanford, Harvard, Wharton, all these great schools, what you can do is just type in the school name. So say Stanford mock resume, and then you'll find the mock resume from their business for whatever kind of school you're applying from, or whatever business or degree or major you're applying from. And I want you to take that resume and mock your resume after that. When you do that, you have like this tried and true formula of resumes that have performed well and actually made it past initial screening, made it past the recruiter's eyes. So have your resume really match a school or like whatever kind of mock resume you're looking for. So for me, I used Harvard's and I used UCLA's. That's how I created my resume. I used that to apply to jobs. And that's how I got a job at Google. That's how I got a job at Meta. Was I had a really good resume that kind of matched like what the hiring people are usually looking for, right? And what you do is through those resumes, you're going to just really kind of change up that relevant experience for yourself. So if that relevant experience is whatever job you've been working on, use that, right? So really tailor and fix your resume before you apply to those jobs on LinkedIn, on Indeed.com. And for you, type in like if you're looking for an analyst role, business analyst role, type in business analyst and then just apply it to all the jobs. Like say if you're in California, all over California, right? If you're in New York, you're in Texas, wherever you may be, just apply to all the, it could be hundreds of miles away, but a lot of times you just need the opportunity, especially if you're just trying to find a job. And if that job is far from you, sometimes they're even willing to let you be remote. I know those are kind of hard to find right now, but a lot of companies still are in that remote. Contrary to popular belief, for most big tech, it's all kind of going in person now. But a lot of companies are remote now, so you need to mass apply to jobs because there are so many times where I have friends who are recruiting, I have friends who are managers, and they tell me I put this job online, no one applied. And a lot of times, as if no one applies, you might be the only one to apply, and you actually get a chance to shot resume review or a possible interview. So apply, 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 apply. I have so many friends who just got out of college, like in June, can't find a job. But the reason they can't find a job is because the economy is very hard. And two, you just need to keep applying. Like, don't let yourself feel down about yourself. Like, you can do it. Okay? So next thing you need to do is after you apply to those jobs, you're going to get phone screens, interviews, and the way you ace these phone screens, and trust me, I've aced these phone screens at Google, is you need to do the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. That is how you ace these interviews. At Google, I had 6 rounds of interviews. I got all strong hires. And Google is like one of the toughest interviews to get through, especially for business. So really master that situation, task, action, result, and you will do really well in your interviews, in your phone screens, right? And I want you to make sure is that for every situation, action, task, result, you have this thing called a treasure chest. And the treasure chest is essentially your list of relevant experiences. In my treasure chest, I have like 10 experiences, and it's like they're all from different roles, different jobs. So say I had like three job prior experiences, right? I'll have like three from one job, three from one, then four from another. And I'll just pick which one I think is best when an interview asks me that certain question. So situation, task, action, result. That is how you ace all of your interviews for your big tech, for your job search interview, whatever it may be. That is how you ace those interviews: situation, task, action, result. And the more you practice your STAR method, the better you'll get. Like, it's very, very nerve wracking at first when you do these things, but you just gotta keep practicing. Okay? So, situation, task, action, result. And the third and final tip I have for you is to, I just know how hard this is. So I got a lot of love for you guys in the job market right now. It's very hard. Um, and I know it's like scary because you got loans to pay. You got to find a place to live. You think that when you get this bachelor's degree or even when you get this master's degree, everything will be all good. And it usually is. It usually will be all good. Like, we all cross the finish line eventually. And I need you to know it is very hard, and it's okay that it's very hard. So always believe in yourself and never give up. My last tip for you guys is to, if you can, go through referrals. Like, you do go in a different bucket through the referral bucket, right? But the best referral you can get is if you know someone who's a hiring manager, if you know someone who knows the hiring manager and can put in a good word for you, your resume will actually get reviewed and screened and you can actually get an interview. A lot of roles I saw internally at Google, it was like sometimes a manager would hire someone who's already prior worked with them before and they love the way they work, so they get on their new team. And that's kind of one way to just get a expedited like job interviews if you can find internal referral. Yes, those referral links work sometimes, right? But there are times the best referral is actually if you know the person. So if you know somebody within the hiring manager sphere who is recruiting for that role or is with an external team, internal team, just reach out to them, right? You never know, they could be hiring. So that is one thing to kind of look out for, right? So don't ever give up. Like, I'm seeing people from the best schools, Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, all these other great schools, and they can't even find jobs. Like, it's tough. It's really tough. So I never want you guys to just kind of give up on the whole recruiting process because you're not sure what's going to happen with everything. Okay. So I love you guys for always just staying strong and believing in yourself because it's tough. Like, I have been laid off before and I've like been so sad because what happens usually is like when you get laid off, like you go on, if you're fortunate enough to get laid off, you go on unemployment. So they'll give you like that 450 a week. Sometimes your company will give you severance if it's like a really big company or if it's like a solid company and it's like a few months or so of not of pay, which is cool. And then you also get like um sometimes you can get food stamps. Um after being unemployed for a while, so that's one thing as well. But it's very hard. Like, I can only imagine like how hard it is. Like, I have so much empathy for, I have friends who laid off and they have families, they have a mortgage. It's so stressful. They need to get on their toes quick. Otherwise they can't pay for all these things. So I know how hard it is to actually be laid off and trying to figure out what to do with your life. So I don't want you guys to ever give up. That's the one thing I've noticed about like the business tech sector is that it's like a boomer bust cycle, right? When the economy is good, everyone's getting paid a lot, the stock goes up, everyone's super happy, everyone's making money, companies continue to hire, everyone gets promoted. But when the economy is down, everyone gets laid off. It's tricky, it's tough, you experience like a lot of hardship because you don't know what's gonna happen, right? And the funny thing is, I have a lot of family in healthcare, and people in healthcare, it's like the hospital's always gonna be open, and there's like a lot of great job stability where you're always gonna be needed to do a job within the hospital. But the hard part is like you're always working with sick patients, and it gets tricky because like, okay, well, this person's sick. I gotta take care of them. I gotta keep going, and it is super hard. It's super tricky. So I don't blame you, like, for wanting to be in business, and then just kind of, but just be aware that it's tricky. Like finding a job, like it's not easy. If I can give you guys some advice on like job stuff, right? It's like, yes, find a job. Excuse me. But always try and build something for yourself on top of that role after like your job, right? Have a side hustle, like because I guarantee you, if you're early in your career, if you're midway through your career, if you're late in your career, you will be let go, you will be fired, you'll be laid off, whatever it may be. You won't. It's very rare to have someone stay at a company for like 20, 30 years and just stay there and not have like this lull where they got laid off, let go, or have like just stay at the company. That's like super rare. And if you usually stay at the company for a very, very long time, unfortunately, you kind of have on the lower end of the salary spectrum because you're not getting that new rate that the market is allowing. And sometimes you just want to move, and it's okay to move. So just don't give up. Don't give up. And if you are there for a long time, then props to you. But for the most part, most people will probably get let go or probably really have to find a new role every now and then. And that is completely okay because that's just the way everything works. Karma goes up, people get hired. Karma goes down, people get let go. So don't ever give up on that. Okay, guys. Um, for me, I want to let you guys know is that building a side hustle after work is probably one of the best things you can do because one, you kind of like leverage yourself, right? Is that if you're able to like say build like a YouTube channel, you will and you kind of grow it, you will have success. You will have income coming in even though you're not making any money from like your current role. That's kind of the reason I wanted to start YouTube is because like if I were ever to go through a lull where I had nothing to do, where I'm like have no job, like I want to be able to have income to actually try and take care of myself. Because your job, whatever job you come into, right? If you ever to let go, it's like it's tough. And I want you guys to be able to just build something, right? The reason I'm like doing this right now is like these long videos for 30 minutes to an hour is because I started seeing Sam Sulek do it, and he's having a lot of success with just talking and giving people advice on their fitness. For me, it'd be like business and career stuff because that's what I know. That's what I know how to help people, right? So I don't want you guys to feel that you're trapped, right? Because there will be dark, hard times where you don't know what to do, especially when it comes to financially speaking. And in those times, I want you to have a business or something you can lean on, right? Build, build when times are good, and build when times are bad, right? So, say you're going through a tough time right now. But I have friends who can't find jobs, and I just feel so bad, and I want them to do something, right? But a lot of those friends who couldn't find jobs, what they do is they'll build a YouTube channel, build content, or then they'll get like a job at a restaurant where they can serve tables and actually have income, or drive Uber, drive Lyft. There's so many ways to make money, and just because you have a fancy degree in college doesn't mean you're above anyone and you can't work a job that does not require a degree, right? So put that work in, right? Get that capital to build whatever you want to build. If you're unemployed, go drive Lyft, drive Uber, drive DoorDash, Uber Eats, get that income and use that to help hold you down for whatever you're trying to kind of get to that next role, next job. Use that to help build your business, right? Whatever, if you're trying to build a YouTube channel, if you're trying to build, say, TikTok or social media brand, whatever it may be, use that income you get from whatever role you're doing to build that, or even hold you down and help you pay for your rent, or until you get a new job or you come to a new company. Use whatever income you have. There are resources. That's the beautiful thing about this gig economy is that you can get roles where you are actually like, don't need a lot of experience. Like you can literally go on Lyft, the Uber app, sign up to do that, DoorDash, Uber Eats apps, time to do that. Next day, making money. Work what, 8 hours, two, $300, and you just stack those days on top of each other. And I know it's tricky, it's hard, but I believe in you. You can do it. So don't ever give up. Okay. Whew. Yeah. I think one thing I've kind of noticed too is that you will go through ups and downs with your job, with your career, and no one ever is like on a straight shot, right? There's so many times we think like this person has their life solved, but you've never seen the amount of struggle that person had to go through in order to get that current role, current job, or build that business. Like, there are a lot of late nights of like wondering, is this worth it? There are a lot of late nights of like hating your role, hating your job because you're like, man, I don't know what to do. And I don't want you guys to ever think that it's always peaches, it's always roses. It's really not. It's like kind of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then you just like figure everything out. If I give you guys advice too, like on work, is that there was a time where I did not work out, go to the gym, lift weights, walk. I just solely focused on working. I let my body and health deteriorate. I really discourage you guys to do that. Don't let work be your number one priority where you stop working out, you stop taking care of yourself, because that will quickly show and you will quickly become a lesser version of yourself where you just don't feel good. So if you guys are fortunate to have a job right now, remember right now in today's economy is very hard. I get to go to work. I get to make money to take care of my finances, take care of the people I love and care about. So if you are going to work and working a ton, take care of your body. Take care of your mind, your heart, your soul. How do you take care of your body? Well, the Red Lobster CEO, I saw this video of how he wakes up 5, 6 in the morning and runs, right? You don't have to do that. But what you can do is like before work, maybe go on a 30-minute walk. At lunchtime, go on another 30-minute walk. After work, go on another 30-minute walk. That's already an hour and a half of walk. Good, right? Keep it easy. And if you really want to kind of do more, go work out and lift weights, right? That's always kind of been my thing. It's like when I was going through my unhealthiest time, when I was just strictly going to work and focusing on work, I was not taking care of my body. I was not working out, and I just felt horrible. If I could do it over again, I would do this. I just, before work, wake up 30 minutes. Lunchtime, walk around 30 minutes. After work, lift weights for 30 minutes. And that's about an hour of walking and then 30 minutes of lifting weights. So I had strength training involved, right? And it's not hard. You can find that. Because there's so many times I've noticed, like, especially our generation right now, it's like we're just always scrolling on social media. We're not taking care of our body. Because it's so easy to sit down and just scroll all day rather than going up, putting the work in, taking care of our bodies, taking care of mind, our heart, our souls, and just taking care of ourselves. So I really encourage you to just take care of yourself no matter how hard it is. Like your brain, your mind has this tenacity of to it where it's gonna be like, I can do anything inside my mind too. But also will tell you, I just want to sit down and be extremely lazy and not do anything. And whenever you have that thought, just know that your mind is like this tyrant and you gotta be like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. I am going to take care of myself. I'm going to make sure I am healthy, happy, and loving myself. So, take care of yourself. Really take care of yourself and make sure you are good to your body, your heart, your mind, your soul. Okay, guys? Um, top three. mm, Yeah, so we went over top businesses or like kind of side hustles you can just do, right? If you just need money right now, drive Uber, drive Lyft, drive Uber Eats, do DoorDash, do all of that, do Instacart. You make 300, 400 bucks a day, and you have some amount of income actually coming in. And then if you also, what I recommend too is like, if you do that, you'll have some income there. And then also you can actually make money through social media, posting your videos, making funny skits, making whatever it may be, commentary, to make sure that you actually have something to do. That's kind of what for me, it's like, I work a full-time job and I want to build a business after work. For me, the business heavily focus is just right now, it's like content on YouTube, talking about what I learned in tech, what I learned at Google, what I learned at UCLA, and helping people out throughout there, because there's so many nuggets of knowledge you learn throughout this entire process, and you feel that it's only right to share it with the people in the world who can benefit from it the most. So I really recommend that you build something, and when you build something, as you're building something, you share that knowledge, that journey to help everyone out. Because there's someone there who can benefit for your story and benefit from what you have gone through in this world. And I truly believe you don't need to share everything when you're doing well. You also should share stuff when you're doing not well, because that story has a tendency to inspire others to get through their tough times. Okay? So when you guys are going through your tough times, when you're applying to your jobs, when you're trying to figure everything out, when you want that like financial stability, and you don't know what's gonna happen, you don't know how you're gonna do it, I encourage you to share that. But as you share that, always remember, you will get through this tough time. Tough times never last. Tough people always do. And I want you guys to remember that. Tough times never last. Tough people always do. Give good to the world. Help out your fellow brother, your fellow sister, to anyone who is here. Help them out. Do good. And always build and bring value to society. And when you do that, everything just kind of falls in hand. And for my friends who reached out to me and telling me they can't find a job, my, my love, my love is for you guys. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you. If you need to go work those jobs, bust those tables, if you need to go drive Uber, do DoorDash, whatever it may be, do it. And just know that this is a stepping stone to where you want to go and be in life. And if you do that, make content about it. People need to see what you're doing. People need to be inspired by you, because whatever story you're going through, it's okay. It's okay. Like, no one out of college, very few people out of college or even out of high school go like get a six-figure job and like all set. That's extremely rare, right? Those are really just for people who probably got lucky in the interviewing process, where they just interviewed really well, had great experience in college, or even got return offers from a previous internship or previous role that they were doing. So my advice for you guys is to go through these tough times. Share your journey on social media, because people need to be inspired by you. And then just never give up. If you don't feel comfortable sharing it, don't share it. But just never give up. Just know that as long as every day you put the work in, where you apply those roles, you try and build a business, wherever you're building, you're putting that work in, and brick by brick by brick, you build something amazing. Or brick by brick by brick, you eventually interview enough, you get good interviewing, and you get that job offer where you can take care of financially your family, your friends, all the people who love you. So don't you ever, 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 ever give up on yourself. If that person can do it, so can you. And I hope to gosh that this story, these words inspire you, because I truly believe in you. Every day I make YouTube videos is not for it's because I want to have a genuine positive impact in the world, even though it's like not gonna get a lot of views because it's super positive, because I'm telling people to believe in themselves. It's fine. Like, I genuinely believe in yourself, right? Because we all deserve the best life. We all deserve to take care of family, people we love. So I hope these videos help you so much. Like, I really do. I really do. If I could end on a story of like how I could help you guys find out your first role, your first job. Let me just recap everything. That's what I want to do. So say you just got out of college, you just got out of high school, maybe you got laid off from a certain job, or you just trying in between jobs right now. How would you do it? Number one, create an Indeed account, LinkedIn account, apply to 50 jobs a day. That is step one. Do it for LinkedIn, do it for Indeed. If you can do 100 a day, props to you. And then 1A or 1B for that is that you need to find out people who are hiring managers at high up in certain companies. Ask them if they have any like open roles and can possibly refer you or get you connected to the hiring manager, because that will for sure get your phone, get your screen, get your resume, get your interview, and that will help you a ton. So take a look into that, okay, guys? That will help you for your whole interview application process. Number two, optimize your resume. We talked about going on websites like Harvard Business School, Stanford GSB, UCLA Anderson, whatever it may be. Look at how they have their resumes for their students and just kind of mock that. So just type in UCLA Business School resume for students. It'll give you a mock template and just update that experience. Use that template to put your resume, your job stuff on there, okay? And that's how you'll be able to kind of have a very good resume that's very presentable to your employer. Number three, you gotta practice a STAR interview. STAR interview is situation, task, action, result. And when you have the STAR interview, just know that that STAR interview is how you ace your interviews. So I got 6 strong hires at Google by mastering the STAR interview. So Google that on YouTube, whatever it may be, situation, task, action, result, and then that should pop up on how to actually ace certain interviews. Okay. And then the last but not least, number 4 is if you're going through a hard time right now and actually need income, it's okay, right? Work Uber, work Lyft, work DoorDash, work Instacart. Look at how to do that and just start making money through that. Because it, even though, right, it may not be where you want to be at that time, it will give you the positive momentum to see that you're doing progress through life, where you're actually getting out there, making money, kind of contributing to the economy, and you will have a positive kind of mindset because you're actually doing action, you're doing something, you're not staying at home. And that's okay that you do these roles because, hey, you need income, you need money. And I'm okay with that, right? Last but not least is that as you're unemployed, as you're trying to figure out this whole weird, crazy job market right now, if you're comfortable with it, document the experiences. Go on YouTube, create Instagram posts, TikTok posts about how you're trying to progress in life, and people will see you. You will feel good because people always want to help people who are helping themselves. So always help yourself out to build the best version of yourself to show to the world. Jello family, I love you. I hope this video was super helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video, but I'll catch you later.